Welcome back to the Blanket Fort. Here in the Crippen household, the baby is asleep, so it's time to chat about parenting, have some laughs and relax as we do some arts and crafts. This episode is a bonus
episode. Sound like you're one of those game shows.
Bonus.
Yeah, I like it.
Welcome, I'm your game show host. I'm Elliot, and with me is my wife,
Emma.
second game show host. This isn't a game show. This is a podcasty thing where we... I've already said the kind of thing where we're about. Yeah.
We natter on about parenting stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
It's very professional.
It is.
If you are new here, then our usual little factoid about each other, so you slowly get to know us over each episode. I'm half the host. I'm Elliot. And today we will share that I am scared of bats.
And I am Emma, and I'm scared of spiders and fireworks.
Well,
and lifts, actually.
Well, I was going to say, yours is loud noises and confined spaces. Yes. Mine's very specific in that I didn't used to have a thing about bats, but then in our old house, we had some bats that, I was going to say roosted in the loft, but that's not right, is it? Something. They hid in the loft.
Yeah.
And then they snuck out in the night. So I woke up one night and had a bat flying around my bedroom.
You did.
Which kind of freaked me out.
Yeah. And ever since then, he hasn't liked bats.
Yeah. There you go.
Traumatic experience.
There were a lot of them because they go in big colonies.
They do. And they were like, the adult bats stayed and they knew to get out of the roof, but the baby bats got confused and would come into the house.
Yeah. So I had one crawling up the fridge.
Yeah.
We spotted one on the curtains. I think over like a 2 or 3 day window, there were like 20 bats we found in the house.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah. Ba-ding-a-ding-a-ding!
Ding, ding, ding!
It's parenting achievement time! It's that moment before we get into the main content of the show where we have a little segment, we share something that's gone wrong, a parenting fail, or just a relatable moment that's happened in our lives as parents.
And the fail today is very recent, happened this morning. We took Lily to nursery, and as I got out of the car with her, I was like, oh, where's your bag? And she just looked at me, because, she's a 2-year-old, like, well, that's not my job. And I was like, Mama forgot to put the bag in. Because I was saying, like, oh, where have you put it, Lily? Like, it's beside... Oh, no, we just didn't bring it. So then she was crying and crying, going to nursery, going, no bag, Lily, no bag. And I was like, don't worry. Put you in nursery, then Mama will go and get the bag. But she was distraught. She didn't have her bag.
It wouldn't be too bad if she hadn't been that bothered. I mean, because I forgot her bag once before, a little while ago now, and we just came home, got it, went back again.
Yeah.
But I didn't try and drop her off without a bag, but clearly that was the mistake today.
That was a mistake today.
She wasn't happy going in without a bag. She's very pedantic. She doesn't even, there's nothing in her bag that she needs.
Yeah, because I almost was tempted to be like, you know what? She never uses anything out of her bag because she never needs a change of clothes.
She's a bit of a clean freak.
She's a bit of a clean freak like Elliot.
Yeah.
And that's where she got that side.
Thanks for that.
I was saying, I grew up in like quite a muddy setting on a farm and I never had a problem with it.
It may be true, but you don't have to say it so snarkily.
I mean, that's where she got that really nice and useful thing where she hates getting dirty. So she normally never needs a change of clothes. So I was almost tempted to be like, if she hadn't noticed, I'd have gone like, oh, she doesn't really need her bag. She never uses the clothes in there. She doesn't really have a nap at nursery anymore. Don't really need a bag. Because she was so pedantic about it, we had to bring it anyway. But,
there you go. 2 trips to nursery this morning.
2 trips to nursery.
I think it's probably a relatable parenting fail. So do let us know if you've had a similar experience, if you've forgotten
the bag,
forgotten anything, and you've had to go back and get it, and or had your kids traumatized because you've forgotten the bag. I mean, what a weird child we have. Goodness me. Well, keep stirring that food you're cooking, and let's dive into talking about our topic for today. which is all around crafting and arts and crafts and being creative as parents, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an opportunity for us to touch on a topic that we haven't done much of this series, and a chance for us to look back at some of the arts and crafts that we've done over this series as well. If you don't know, if you only listen to us through your little ears in your little headphones, then we do have over on YouTube the added
bonus
feature. It's like that extra disc you get in a DVD set when you were young, with all the bonus content. Yeah, so you can watch along each episode where we do a different arty or crafty activity. I would say a lot of people seem to think we are very arty crafty people, very creative. I suppose we are creative to a certain extent, but I suppose
I'd say we are. I think we're just not skilled.
Yeah, we often say we really don't know what we're doing.
No.
So don't take this by any means as like advice or professional guidance on arty crafty things, or as experts in the field.
But if we can do it, it means you can do it.
Yeah, probably.
Very little skills.
It's true.
To be able to recreate what we do.
I think we do play to our strengths.
Yeah.
So what in arty crafty things do you enjoy doing? I think we've covered this kind of before, but remind our
I like drawing
audience.
and painting. I'm not good at sewing or knitting, especially. I have made a scarf, but it took me, I'm not lying, 3 years, maybe more. And it's not a big scarf I made. I just got so bored of it. So I'd say that's not my forte, even though stereotypically women seem to like doing that more. I just don't have the patience for it, I don't think. Whereas he's much more, compared to me, you're much more better.
Yeah.
Much more better. That's terrible English. You're much better at that than me.
That's true. The feminine activity. I mean, anyone can do arty crafty things, can't they? But I feel
just
like
stereotypically,
quite a lot of women enjoy doing like crocheting and needlework and those types of things. And I quite enjoy doing them too.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I'm no good at drawing or
You're good at
stuff.
Abstract art.
Yeah, but that's not really drawing, is it? It's like
that's true.
throwing some paint on a page.
Yeah,
I can do that.
True, yeah.
I can do some smearing and some... Before we had children, you used to do a lot of painting and art.
I did do a lot of art stuff.
Part of doing this in the podcast is so that we can...
if anyone ever follows me on Instagram, before child, all I posted was paintings and art. And then once I've had a child, it's just become my child. And you know, like a lot of parents, well, a lot of people who aren't parents are like, oh, I hate it when people become parents. It just becomes their identity. And I thought I wouldn't be one of those people. But now I host a parenting podcast. I'm like, literally, my Instagram feed is me doing activities with my child.
Yeah.
So but I've learnt into it.
We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about doing creative stuff with Lily and like kids stuff and things like that in a moment. But let's go through some of the bits we've done on the podcast. The first one was that butterfly painting you did.
Oh yeah.
Which you always say you really liked until you took it too far.
Yeah. It's sat beside us now because it fell off the wall.
It did. Well, no, it didn't fall off the wall. Lily pulled it off the wall.
Oh.
And that's why there's a big mark on the wall now.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because it used to be above her bed.
It did. But she liked getting it down to look at it is the main problem. I think that's where we went wrong.
Yeah.
So it has been appreciated. Just more as a physical art piece she picks up and looks at rather than is viewed from afar.
Yeah.
And yeah, it turned out
I think it looks lovely. It looks good.
It looks okay.
I think because I can't draw anything like that, it looks very impressive.
That's true.
I mean, up close, you can see the background is a bit strange.
Yeah, I feel like I should have just left the background white. I don't know why I felt the need. I think because I was like, oh, it looks a bit plain with a white background. I need to do more. And then I just lost control. Because it's turned out okay. I just wish I'd left it, really.
Yeah. Oh, well. We learn as we go.
We do, and it's a common thread between me and Elliot.
Yes.
That we both, once we start doing a craft, the other person is like, it looks great, you need to stop now because you're going to ruin it. And the other one goes, no, I'll just do this, it'll make it better. And the other person goes, no, we know what each other are like. We need to step away from the painting or whatever thing we're doing and just leave it because it's fine as it is.
Yeah.
But we can't. Something compels us to go on and make it worse.
The second one we did was it was one I did, which was a Rubik's Cube jigsaw.
Oh, yes. That I got from a Christmas fair.
I was going to say, where did we get it from? Because I knew it'd come from somewhere strange.
Me and my sisters went on our annual trip away from the kids and the husbands, and we went to Edinburgh. And it was at a Christmas fair. I won it in a raffle.
There you go. And I thought this will be perfect for the podcast.
Yep.
This is what I do now. I go around places and like when we're in charity shops and things, I'm on the lookout for like, it's a good craft. We could film for the podcast. That one, I was like, maybe it's my dyslexic brain, but I'd not really paid attention to the box very much. I don't know why. I assumed it would like be some really clever like 3D jigsaw.
I did too. It's because I didn't even see you making it. Because if anyone knows, I'm a grandma. I like to go to bed early. Don't like staying up late. So he was staying up doing his little thing, filming it. Doing his little thing.
I was just doing my little thing. Nothing weird about that at all.
Doing his jigsaw.
You go to bed, I'll do my little thing.
And it was only when I watched the video and I was like, oh, it's just a flat jigsaw. I really thought it was going to be some clever 3D shape.
Yeah. Well, it's clever because it looks through 3D, if you know what I mean. Like it's got a perspective on it. And it's not a square jigsaw, it's like an oddly shaped one so that it looks like a Rubik's Cube when you view it from above.
And is there two of them?
And there is two of them, which again, odd. I hadn't expected that. Bit strange. It made it a bit more challenging because I had to separate out which pieces were for which.
Yeah.
Even so, it was one of the quickest crafts
I don't even know if a jigsaw's a craft, really. Well, I think we're being quite generous.
It's true. When I talk about crafts, I am being very liberal.
Broad.
Yeah, like general creative activities. I've got some other ideas for things we might do in the future, and some of them are, you'd be hard pushed to call them an art or a craft. But we'll see. The next one we did was I did the Harry Potter cross stitch.
Oh yes, that was cute. It looked good though.
Well, I haven't finished it.
Oh yes, true.
It's just because it has a template on it, which looks like the final thing. So it looks kind of. I vastly underestimated how long it would take to do.
Yeah, because I actually tried to. I was going to say be brave. It's not brave. Be ambitious and stay up to watch him do it. Because I'm one of these people. I don't find fun in doing it, but I do enjoy watching other people do crafts and like do crochet things.
It's a bit like video games.
It is.
You're very odd in that you work in the video game industry. You don't really have an interest in playing the video games, but you love watching me play video games.
Yeah, and I love watching YouTubers play video games. I just don't really do it myself. Yeah, maybe it's something about me. I'm just maybe a bit lazy. I don't actually enjoy doing the activities, but I enjoy watching it and seeing the result of them.
Yeah.
So yes, I remember staying up with him, and then it was too slow an activity. I was like, I'm gonna have to go to bed now, and he's not anywhere near finished.
I also forget that a lot of these things. This was the first time I'd ever tried doing this. I'd never done it before. I had to learn a whole new skill. So like part of me, I was like sitting down at 8:00 on an evening, like, well, I'll just do the arts and craft thing for the podcast. And
I'll just do it now. It'll be fun.
Yeah. I'm like reading the instructions like an hour later, and I'm like, right, I think I've got my head round what I need to do, the setup, what's involved. Like, I should really have picked something that I knew what I was doing.
I think you were a bit ambitious.
But part of my enjoyment is I love learning new things.
Yeah.
So I've been quite excited to do a whole load of new stuff that I've never tried before. The outtake episode for New Year, I think we did, I showed the footage of you starting the paint by numbers thing that you bought.
This is a common theme. I didn't finish it.
It's been abandoned and rejected.
Yeah, I think I've thrown it away now.
Do you want to explain what you bought?
So I ordered a paint by numbers thing.
It's like one of those companies where you send in an image and they send you back a paint by numbers version of it. I didn't
appreciate how detailed the picture I was sent.
Well,
yeah, at least looking.
It's a common complaint I have. That no thought has been put into.
This relates back to the last thing I just said, where I'm overly ambitious and I don't think about what I'm doing.
It's like Emma tells me she's done something. I'm like, have you thought through the logistics of this? Have you considered what you've done? You've just gone on a swim, a spur of the moment, and bought something.
Yeah.
So you hadn't considered like whether the image itself would lend itself to being
afterwards
a paint by
Elliot was
numbers.
like, well, that's a really difficult image. Why did you think that would be
It's also
easy?
a really poor quality image, which doesn't help the whole situation.
It's true.
Also, you didn't look at what size it was going to be. You thought it was going to be fairly small.
Yeah.
It came as like a massive
It was really big.
A1 size poster thing to paint.
And I was losing the will to live doing it. Oh, I've never been so depressed because I had so much pressure that I wanted to finish it. And then I started doing what I wanted. I just started painting over the bits.
Just ignoring the lines.
Which
and
actually
the
for me was working much better. And I was much more successful. But even then, it was just so big. It stayed on the table for about months.
Yeah.
And then slowly one day I was cleaning up and I was like, I'm just not going to do it, am I?
Yep.
So I just kept the paints for Lee to play with.
Yeah. That's why it's in the outtake episode 1, because it was an abandoned craft. That was never completed. There we go.
Yeah.
The next one we did was I did the loom knitting of the scarf.
Yes. That was good.
Quite enjoyed that. Again, I haven't quite finished that thing because I filmed as much as I could doing it that evening, and then I've just never returned to actually finish it. It was quite relaxing doing it. I enjoyed it. But
I think you will actually go back to it at some point.
Yeah. Oh, the next one you did was doing your macrame.
Oh, I enjoy that.
Your plant
this
hanger.
is when I'm more stereotypical. I love doing that because you can do it real quick. See this for me? It needs to be a craft that can be done quickly.
Not take too long.
And I will finish it in an evening. And then I feel a sense of accomplishment and I don't have to faff on with it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love doing plant pot things. They're quite easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done it a few times before.
I have.
You've made them as presents for people and things.
Yeah. And they honestly, once again, if I can do it, the first time I did it, I was with my friend Vicky, and I could see her looking at me, trying not to judge my stupidity. She was looking very sweetly at me, but I saw in her eyes going, I can't understand how she does not understand how to do this. So like, Vicky picked it up straight away, basically finished that evening.
Yeah.
It took me a good few hours at home.
Yeah.
Working out how to do it again, because for some reason I think it's because I've got a poor visual memory if people don't know.
Well, it's all like kind of like knots and stuff.
For me, like
it's kind of mathematical in a way, and that's just not how your brain works.
Not how my brain works. I needed someone to like just almost on repeat on a tape.
Yeah.
Someone just saying do this, this, and this, and then I keep doing it. But then slowly. Now my hands have just learned like muscle memory what they're doing. So now I no longer need to think. It makes it much easier. But yes. So that did take me a while to learn that skill. But once I had the skill, you just kind of have it.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy.
Yeah. The next one was another one where we found like in a charity shop or something, and I spotted it and I picked it up. I was like, great, this will be perfect for the podcast, which was some pop-out paper 3D models.
Yes.
It's very difficult to describe what they are when you haven't seen them.
It's like origami, but without having the art of having to make it.
You're not folding paper from scratch. You have cut out templates and you're folding
like
tabs
together
into boxes.
Yeah.
And it's a very specifically bizarre one in that it was a set based on Despicable Me 3. So it has some minions in it.
Yeah.
But it also has that robot.
Yes.
That's like a side character.
It is a side character.
In Despicable Me 3. So
Lily was a big fan of them, though, although she did end up destroying them.
Yeah.
She was excited by them.
Yeah. They were more fiddly than I had anticipated.
Yes.
Which was a pain. A pain. Ugh. But anyway, it was quite fun and they looked quite impressive when they were done. So I was quite happy with it.
They sat on our mantelpiece for a good amount of time.
Yeah. Oh, and then we come to your Bluey and Bingo shoes.
Oh, these were a big hit with everybody. And I'm still very proud of them. So I basically used fabric paint. I'm very tempted to get some of my own trainers and paint something fun on them. So that could be for a future episode.
And Lily still wears the shoes. She's very impressed that they've got Bluey and Bingo on.
And now she repeats the phrase, Mama made them.
Oh.
Which is good. Because at first she just didn't believe me. And I was like, no, I painted them for you. Not that I'm saying, I mean, I did want her to appreciate that I'd made them. But I very had to strongly, because she go, no. Like, looked at me like, you must have bought them. And I was like, no, Mama painted them. And then she'd go, Mama painted them? And I was like, yeah.
That's good though, because it means you didn't have to buy expensive Bluey and Bingo shoes. Means you could buy some cheap white shoes and paint them. And then I had a go. This was another new one for me, which was took a while to get the hang of, needle felting.
Oh, yeah.
That I'd never done before.
That was interesting to watch, I will say.
Why?
You went from joy to desperation very quickly.
Oh, yes. Yes, it's true. I was having a good time to begin with. I was really unsure whether it was going to feel easy or really difficult. I think on the whole, the actual process was easier than I thought it would be.
I'd say your only downfall is more your artistic eye rather than your ability to needle felt.
Once again, my problem was I wasn't following an instruction manual. The stupid kit I bought. I thought the kit I'd bought, because it was like a beginner's set,
would have like instructions.
With some instructions. And because on the packaging itself, it had some pictures of some like really cute little
things,
needle felted kind of animal
bears
and things. And I thought, I'll make one of them. And I was looking in it. I was like, well, there's no actual instructions. It's just a kit with the ingredients, but no, like it just has these images of examples of things you could make with this stuff. And I was like, great. So then I had to go on YouTube and find something. And of course, everything you needed then different types of wool and things that I hadn't got in my kit. And so in the end, I was like basically making it up as I went along. Yeah. Which is probably where I went wrong.
Probably.
Yeah. But I was attempting to make something that resembled Charmander.
He looks a bit like Charmander. He just looks like a very angry creature.
If you stop the video halfway through, it looks quite good. And then just like with your painting, it went from bad to worse.
That's what I mean. He was really pleased with himself when I left him.
Yeah.
And then I think in the morning, I was like, how did it go? And he was so depressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no.
Well, it's because like Charmander has a kind of more angry expression, so I was trying to get that through on. So I tried to add like nostrils and eyebrows.
The eyebrows were very angry.
But the problem was I really struggled with that. And then the black wool that I was using, I'd put too much on. I was trying to get some off, and then it was like spreading. So it kind of just then the whole thing became a kind of murky brown.
Yeah.
And there was too much going on. Then I was trying to add feet on the side, and that went wrong.
Yeah. And
just terrible. Looked like a deformed gremlin thing.
Yeah. It just amused me because when I'd left him, he'd been really happy with it. And then when I next saw him, he was really sad.
But I'll definitely try that again at some point, because I've got loads more of that kit, and I quite enjoyed doing it, and it'd be interesting to try doing something else.
I think this time maybe you should just have my advice as you're going on.
Yeah, I need some. I
think I might have gone. Maybe don't do the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Or at least not in black.
Yeah, just don't leave me to my own device. I need some artistic guidance. Yeah.
Because your skill was fine. It's just the choices you made weren't the right choices.
And the final one of our main episodes was you painting the Psyduck thing on a canvas with acrylic.
That was surprisingly successful, although once again there was a bit of a blunder. I can't remember what I did that then.
The footsteps.
The footsteps went a bit crazy. Once again, I maybe just shouldn't have done footsteps because it looked good and fine.
Well, I think they looked fine to begin with, and then you kind of went over them in a darker paint, and they looked bad, and then you were trying to edit them, and it had gone. You had the same problem as me. It was then smearing, just going murky.
I just tried to paint over them all together, and that didn't really work. So now it just looks like he's got like a puddle behind him. But Lily was very impressed with it, and it generally looks okay as long as you don't look really close at the back corner where there's like a darker shade of sand. But yeah, wasn't too bad actually.
There we go. And then we did something completely different for our bonus tangents episode, where we made some slime.
We did. That was actually really fun.
Yeah.
I have made slime since. Really enjoy it.
Yeah, really good. And actually, most of that video is just us watching on the film Lily playing with the slime, or you and Lily playing with the slime.
I enjoyed playing with the slime.
Yeah, it's good fun. Worked
and
well.
I would say it's kept really well. Like we have made more, but we haven't had to.
And it's quite easy to make, actually. Yeah. And actually, I think the big advantage is, I know like slime is pretty cheap to buy from wherever, But the homemade slime that we had, I think it's actually quite a lot better than
I think it's better than the cheap slime you get, because that's really quite watery.
Yeah.
Whereas this is quite more thick and jelly-like.
Yeah. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Don't Wake the Baby is brought to you in partnership with the Kairos Movement, which is a project of the Methodist Church, who have also given us money to do the podcast.
Hooray!
What do we need to say, Emma?
I don't know. This isn't my forte.
Why do you do this podcast, Emma?
Because I enjoy it. Because it's fun. Because I want to connect with other people.
Yeah, that's it. And we're all about trying to build some community with parents if you've got babies or toddlers, particularly around Yorkshire, but you don't have to be. We're based in Harrogate, and our support network is around Yorkshire, north and east area.
Northeast.
So that's where we are, and so that's where we're building some community. But wherever you are, really, you can connect in with us. And if you don't have a village to support you in your parenting,
we are that village.
Hopefully, maybe. I don't know. That's the general idea. We can offer mutual support. We don't know most stuff.
Basically, if you want to help each other muddle through, we are the kings and queens of muddling through.
To that end, it would be great to hear from you if you're listening to this. Don't just listen along, but do get involved with the community and engage with us. You can chat or message or comment or do any of those things on our social media platformies.
I've only just learned you can comment on Spotify, which was an eye-opener to me because I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And she put a question and she hasn't ever done that before. And then loads of people replying. And I was like, oh, this is a thing you can do on Spotify? I never knew. I mean, admittedly, it's when we tell people I didn't reply to it. But
Emma, we're trying to encourage people to reply to our podcast.
I know. But like, I often listen as I'm working, so I don't actually look. It was only yesterday because I was looking on the thing. I was like, oh wow, you can actually comment.
It's a good point. You don't have to do it right now if you're listening to us and you're busy doing other stuff. That's fine. But remember, later. When you're free and you're not doing anything else, probably that's the middle of the night. Because there's very few other times.
Yeah.
But then you can go...
Come back to the podcast, Spotify, comment.
Yeah, comment, message on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook at don'twakethebaby_podcast. Join our Facebook group chat community, and you can we message each other about what's going on in our lives.
You'll hear a lot of our fails on there that maybe don't make it into the podcast.
Yeah, that's it. I also try to share as much as possible to our Instagram stories so that you can engage with us there if that's your preferred place. We'd love to hear from you, particularly as this is kind of like the end of series 2 for us. We'd love to hear how you found it. Give us your feedback. We're always open to suggestions. And if you want to learn more about how we're supported or explore faith and spirituality in any shape or form, whatever it might be, then we would encourage you to take a look at the Kairos Movement, who support us. And there's lots of various pick a mix activities and options and online and offline groups and various things that you can get involved with if you so wish, but you don't have to. That's entirely optional. Find all the stuff out on our website. Go to www.kairosmovement.org.uk/don'twakethebaby.
Excellent, well done. I'm going to time you in future, see if you can beat it each time.
You'll get to a point where it's just completely inaudible.
Yeah. Well, then that won't count. Shall we move on to crafts with kids?
Yeah. What things do you enjoy doing with Lily?
Well, Lily really likes painting. The prime example is this morning. We'd had breakfast, which was pancakes. Thank you to Elliot. They were delicious. Elliot was still eating his breakfast. She goes, paint! And I was like, okay. And in my head, I was like, you've got nursery in like half an hour.
Yeah.
Could you not save some of this creative energy? But then I was like, hey, it's an easy activity. You chuck some paints out. You give her some paper. She has some stampy things she likes doing.
She takes after you a lot, really.
She does. She
loves drawing, loves painting, anything like that. I say that, though. Yesterday, we spent a long time doing Lego with
she
her,
really
and she really
enjoyed
enjoyed that. So I'm getting her involved in some of my
She's quite like me, though. She mainly just liked watching you do the Lego.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
She didn't really create much of her own. She just demanded that he made Minnie Mouse out of Lego and then watched him make Minnie Mouse out of Lego.
Yeah. And there's some stuff which we've already kind of covered and it's been on the podcast. So like the slime and other bits and pieces that we've done.
The slime, I will say, as we're trying to get her more into independent play, the slime has been really useful because she will sit there for ages and we have little... Now, I know apparently in America you don't have this, an ice cube tray.
Right. They not have that in America?
No, because they have ice machines apparently in their fridges. So they don't, or they just buy ice. Oh. They don't make their own.
Silly.
Oh.
Do we have any American listeners?
But I thought if we do, they're going to be like, what is that?
Boo. Move to Yorkshire.
And you'll find out what one is. But she likes pretending she's making cakes, so she puts it each in the little slot of the ice cube tray. Yeah. And then that takes forever. And she likes chopping it up. And I'm just saying, if you need something for independent play, slime is an excellent resource.
Well, it's a great example of like a sensory tray type thing, which we've done lots of over the past.
But, and she does like sensory trays, but she's never been as smitten with it as she is with slime, I don't think.
I think because a lot of the creative, arty, crafty things that you often do with kids involve like little bits like rice or messy things or cereal. And because Lily's like this weird clean freak, she doesn't like a lot of that stuff.
And it is true with the slime, she has to wear plastic gloves because she doesn't like actually touching it. Which is a bit odd. But still, with her little gloves on, she's happy to, play away with the slime. And I'm like, it's been like 15, 20 minutes. She's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what other things we do with Lily. I feel like we do a lot of stuff just naturally because we're quite creative. It comes to us and then we post it on Facebook and like a load of our friends are like, wow, what a good idea. And like, I'm like, oh, this just seems quite normal.
I think if you like crafty things, it's automatically what you do.
And you might think we're creative, but we equally know a lot of other friends and mums
who are more
and
creative.
Those who are really into doing other stuff. And we always look at them and go, wow, look, they're really creative. Yeah. It's really good.
I'm really into it at the minute. I'm trying to get, once it's nice weather, do like more outdoorsy, crafty things. Like, like even if it's just daisy chains and stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And it changes, doesn't it? Like on their age. So what we did with Lily when she was a baby and a 1-year-old is different to what we do now.
Do you remember she used to like killing daisies and then pretending to eat them?
Yeah.
That was an odd thing she did. And then she'd go, ugh, and I'd be like, no, don't do that. It's disgusting. And then she'd find it really funny. So then she'd purposely pretend to eat daisies. And we called her the Daisy Exterminator. So I'm hoping this summer/spring she's got over that and won't try and eat daisies. I always think she gets more sensible, but I don't know. Sensible. But the other day she started licking the window for no reason. So,
yeah,
I don't know how sensible she is getting in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Just turned around. I was like, oh, great, she's licking the window. That's a nice, normal thing.
She really likes to wind us up.
She does. She's at the age now, she's like, this will really annoy them.
Yeah, you can see it in her little eyes. She's thinking it. She's going, yeah this is going to get them. I'll do this. It's really weird. And they're going to freak out.
I did try, and this is something that did not work. So when she was younger, a lot of people did that thing where you put like animals in ice and then you take them out in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And like they help chisel away at them to get them out.
I often see that going around on Instagram and TikTok.
Lily just didn't like that they were trapped.
Yeah.
So it had to be a fast rescue mission, and therefore she wouldn't. Yeah, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
She was like,
she also doesn't like the cold.
No.
So like she's never liked snow. No. And she's not a big fan of ice.
She likes walking through snow, but she doesn't like touching it particularly. Yeah. Which, once again, probably goes with her sensory stuff. She doesn't really like dirt either. It's like...
It's hard because it's a balancing act between, like, recognising it as... I really want her to overcome that kind of... It's not a fear, but, aversion to kind of... that sensory stuff and encourage her to explore it and stuff.
Slowly getting better. I think we should get her more comfortable with some ideas of dirt is a necessity in life and you're just going to have to deal with it. But also, I'm not going to force her. I'm like, hey, you're just not one of those kids who likes getting dirty. I'm not going to force you to play in the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things where we utilize what we have around us.
Yes, definitely.
Like cardboard boxes.
Oh, yeah. This is one of our activities we do on a regular basis is we have a cardboard box from something that's been delivered, especially if it's big.
Yeah.
And we just
we get a lot of Amazon deliveries.
We do. Once again, not great for the environment. We sit and put it in the middle of the room and we just let it colour on it.
Yeah.
And it'll be great because it takes our ages to colour the whole box. And recently, we made an ice cream van out of it, which was a very active game. I will admit, I didn't think I would be as active a participant in it as I was because I had to be the ice cream salesperson a lot of the time. And so we had to be like, ding, 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 the ice cream's coming. Because we'd cut a hole in the box for me to sit in and... and had to draw some ice cream options inside the box that she could point at. But now, if she ends up with a future career in ice cream, she's very good at saying like sprinkles, no sprinkles, sauces. She is a good development of the language of what she wants on an ice cream and what other people would want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was a very educational thing. This cardboard box, immense fun.
I think it highlights that you do a lot of things that focus on your strengths. So you like do a lot of colouring and painting of things with Lily, whereas I do a lot more making of things.
True.
Like focusing on my strengths. So like the other day we made a weird pulley system.
Oh, I was very impressed with that.
Up and down the stairs where we got lots of string and we had a balloon and we had a system where you could pull one string to pull it up to the top of the stairs and one string to pull it back down to the bottom of the stairs.
And this one you tell I don't have a scientific mind because I was amazed by this. I was like, oh wow, this is so cool. How did you do this? I think I was as impressed as Lily was with the pulley system.
There we go.
Although he did eventually have to take it down because the balloon would just hang there. And it did start to scare me when I was coming up and downstairs because I could just see something out the corner of my eye that was just a bit off-putting.
Yeah, and I do a lot of like paper aeroplanes.
Yeah, once again, I can't make them either.
With Lily and bits like that. There we go. So that's a bit of
stuff
we do with Lily. We try to be creative as much as we can because we're quite creative people.
Yeah, and I don't like her to have a thing about stuff.
Yeah.
So I often want to be like, look how much fun we can have just with a cardboard box.
Yeah.
Without using any of our toys.
I mean, if you've listened to other episodes of ours, you'll know we also do we have a lot of stuff.
We do.
We're not by any means great examples of doing things. But this is my
main problem is that she gets more enjoyment from the cardboard box than she does this stuff. And this is when I'm like, you don't need that many toys. Yeah. But my problem is we've accumulated them.
Yeah.
And she's not going to give them up.
And every time we go out to the shop, she wants to buy more.
Yeah.
But,
we are getting better at saying no.
We just try our best.
We do.
Like everyone, you just muddle through.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It would be great to hear what you do with your little ones.
What creative thing.
Yeah, if you manage to, if you don't, do you have any good tips, ideas, or anything?
Or a good activity that's good for independent play, because that's what we're primarily focusing on at the minute.
Well, I'm quite successful at that because I just, set something up and ignore it.
Yeah.
Mama gets too involved.
I get too involved.
She's like, she was involved in the ice cream game. If Baba had been there, he'd have been like, you play ice cream. I'm going to sit here.
I think that's true. I don't know what it is.
Be a worse parent, Emma. It encourages independent play.
I know. I can't leave sometimes. Sometimes she played by herself fine and I'm like, oh, would they like some cookies? I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I involving myself? She was playing perfectly fine with her toys without me suggesting I make cookies for them to eat. I think it's part of me still very childish and I want to be in on the play. And it's very good to play with them. But you're right in that sometimes I involve myself and I don't need to be involved. I don't need to be there, really. I just should watch on, enjoy myself.
Right, final segment, final topic bit in this episode is what things are you excited that we might try doing next with the podcast in terms of arts and crafts? Do we have plans?
I want to do, you won't know about this, is I've been watching some people recently and they do like pottery at home. and bake it in their little ovens.
That sounds fun.
And like, it's really easy. It's like a little, I don't know if this is the right word, like kind of like rope. So you just like make a long snake out of it, and then you kind of make it into a little pot.
Yeah.
Then you bake it and paint it. And I was like, that sounds like fun and that we could do with Lily. And it's quite easy.
I want to try some proper crocheting at some point. We've got a lot of friends who do it. And
you're quite good. You've done knitting successfully before.
Yeah. Again, it's like another big new thing I'll have to learn. But and we'll do probably a lot more of the same things we've done before.
Well, as
but
you've
with
heard,
different designs.
I want my own pair of trainers with something cool on.
Yeah,
so
we'll
that'll
do
be
that.
done at some point.
We'll do more like, I want to have another go at needle felting, another go at cross stitch, another go at doing some other paintings and drawings, and including some other fandoms and other interests in the designs of what we've done.
That's good.
I think that's the general plan.
That's the general gist of what we're going to do.
If you've got ideas of things you'd like us to try or suggestions of things you think we might be good at, then...
Was anyone going to think we're good at anything?
I think some people think we're good at stuff. I think they're wrong, but...
Or maybe send us a craft you think we'll be really bad at and it can be one of the blooper episodes.
Yeah. I'm sure there was other things I had ideas about of what we would do, but I can't remember now.
Well, they can be surprises.
It'll be a surprise. Oh, I thought of one. Sorry, I've just
okay.
both thought of something. I thought I would, again, this is where we're stretching the limits a little bit. I thought I'd at some point do like balloon animals.
Oh, that's fun. He's very good at balloon animals. Yes, mine was it's completely off topic as per usual, but people said they like my off topic things.
Excuse me? Who said this?
A lot of people said after we put it in the comments, they're like, oh, it's one of our favourite episodes.
That's true, the tangent episode. People liked it.
This is a tangent. So I was watching, once again, I say TikTok, it's probably Facebook Shorts. And his parents were saying they don't have secrets, they have surprises in their family. Because secrets, like a secret can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Whereas a surprise is a good thing.
Yeah.
So like, some abuse or something happened. They were like, oh, but we don't keep secrets.
Yes.
We just keep surprises. So, like if you hide something for somebody's birthday, that's a surprise. It's not a secret.
I get the idea. I think
that was quite good.
There's still some work to be done to work out the morals of it. Like you're just swapping out one word for another word. True.
I think it's like so someone couldn't use that word in a certain way.
Yeah. I think it's helpful. You probably just need to work out how you talk about what surprises you keep.
Yeah, and also Lily's really bad at keeping surprises at the minute.
Yeah.
She literally wrote a card for my birthday. She came upstairs, Mama, Winnie the Pooh card. And I was like, how do I? Elliot was like, what are you doing?
You're not going to tell her what's in the card. It was a surprise.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we've come to the end of the episode. This bonus
episode. If we do too many bonus episodes, we'll just have started a new series.
No, we'll return with series 3 of the podcast at some point soon. I'm not quite sure when, but
it won't be that long.
It won't be that long. We'll try and get back on top of it. But yeah, I hope you have a really good time. If you're listening to this in real time when it comes out, it's currently, as of time of recording, Easter holidays.
Whoop, whoop.
So I hope you're having a good time and surviving and it's all going okay, whether it's a normal week for you or whether you've got older kids and you're off school, whatever's happening.
Yeah.
If you're on holiday, maybe you're listening to this abroad. Who knows? Go get back on with your cooking or whatever you were doing beforehand. I think that's what I said.
Those menial home tasks you've got to get done.
While you were listening. And remember, once you've finished, come and engage with us somewhere. Come and chat and talk.
Click something.
It's a requirement. I'm holding you to it.
Or you can't listen to the next podcast episode. I'm sorry. That's just how it works.
But sleep well. God bless. We'll hear you next time.
And don't wake the baby.
Blah, 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 blah.